This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo for EA Sports, continuing at PGA West in the Career Builder Challenge. We're on the back nine now. Hole number 10 is 416 yards, a medium length par 4. But again, player has to deal with water.
It is. This is a double dogleg, really, and if you don't get the ball in the fairway, you're going to kick yourself. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh, I thought he made that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. He needs this for par. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now at the long par 5 11th. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. Little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Playing a par 5, Frank, what happened on that third shot?
Yeah, it's a poor decision. But, well, hopefully he can eradicate that from the memory banks and really knuckle down on this. Do not want to drop a shot or make 6 here.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor.
Even par, apparently.
Still playing even for the day after the par. To the par 4 12th here at PGA West, short at 363 yards. So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Second shot coming out of the rough here. And the ball settles on the green about 26 feet away.
Yeah, not the easiest of putts coming up.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
Just hammered that par putt, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he was thinking or what was going through his mind right there, but you better wake up in a hurry, because if this one doesn't go in, that score's going to rack up very quickly.
Putt drops, now at 1 over par. You see the blend of holes here from the long par 5 to the short par 4, now to the 214-yard par 3 13th. Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Navalo. So long for now. EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. It's second round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Frank, I love a par 3 where you have to hit one solid golf shot. Anything less and you might pay a severe price. 255-yard par 3-6. What a hole.
No, you love watching somebody else play a par 3 like that.
You're right. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Looks like he just misread that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Always take that. Good par putt right there. Frank, if you want to play this game at the highest level, and no doubt our players do, you have to sort of be tactical. When you break down shots or break down a hole, how would you break down this hole in a very smart way?
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. A lot of people would think 350 yards, you could bash a driver down there, you'd finish up in trouble. Well, the way to be aggressive on a strategic hole is to just put the first one in play in a position where you can attack with the second. And there's no shame in that. You can still walk off here more days than often than not with a 3.
So short iron in hand now at the par 4-7. Good opportunity to make a birdie. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Now if I could just sink it.
You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. 555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Chance for birdie after the beautiful shot. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can 2-putt from there is a good result.
No problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Finishing out the front 9 with a pretty difficult par 4. Again, water down that right side.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? You hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
in the
This one
water.
doesn't look good. Thank goodness, Frank, back on dry land here.
As long as this one avoids it.
So the previous shot into the drink, this now the fourth shot. So Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
Frank, you've been in this position. The hole hasn't gone the way you've wanted. What do you do?
Well, we'd all like to make birdies and eagles, but, you know, that's not the name of the game. We've seen that. It's minimizing your mistakes. So right now is a perfect opportunity to try and
So another bogey on the scorecard. And Frank, what happened this week?
I think it's a week to forget, Rich.
Don't forget third round coverage coming your way tomorrow on EA Sports. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Today it's live third round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Well, Frank, kind of a make or break hole here at the 14th par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one, no easier than the one he's just hit.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Frank, how do you explain what we saw here?
It's a mess. It's probably the easiest way to put it. This case of anything that could go wrong, not just probably, it did.
Now at the 15th, par 4, 468 yards. It is nicknamed Turning Home as we are making our way towards the close of this round. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Now the approach here at 15. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. And getting ready for the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Putt for par. Needs one. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Now to the par 5 16th. Frank, this is a pretty solid hole.
Like all the other par 5s here, length gets a big advantage here. This hole, as you mentioned, bends to the left, and that bunker can be taken out of play by the longest hitters. 326 yards will get you past that. Otherwise, there's sort of a V shoot down the right side that everybody else has to respect.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Third shot, looking for a good one. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try.
Yeah.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Well, too bad. He gives one back. Well, we've arrived at Alcatraz, the signature hole here at PGA West. That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
Good question.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the three bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
The second shot now to the par 4. Frank, the skins game was played at PGA West, the stadium course, many years ago. 1987, Lee Trevino did something that really stood out. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, to make a hole-in-one anywhere is obviously something to be remembered. But when you do it on TV, national TV, and on a hole like 17, Alcatraz, all the way across the water, everybody complained about how hard the golf course was, and Trevino gives it that little bang, little cut, bang, in it goes, one. Trevino could play any golf course, no matter how hard it was.
It was a one that was worth 175,000, 175,000 bucks. That won him the carryover skin in the skins game. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder, hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
He'll need to be strong with this.
That was not good.
That one was running so hot.
Rich, you know, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Locked in on the read and the speed. Man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Clean this up with a tap. Boy, those will knock the wind out of your sails. Double bogey. That'll do it for the third round. What happened, Frank, today?
Well, the third round, Rich, is always so pivotal. You realize you're trying to put yourself in a position to win. Consequently, you have to hit a couple of shots that you might not feel comfortable with. If they come off, then you're going to have a chance to win. If they don't, then, well, we've just seen what the result is.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today, it's the final round of the Career Builder Challenge. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
Even par currently.
And it drops for birdie. Par 4 15th, measuring in at 468 yards. He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. See what they do now with this second shot at hole number 15.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
Ooh, chance for birdie.
With a good read, might have been able to make it from that distance, but not to be. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Okay, no problem with that one. Par 5 16th is a slight dogleg left at 600 yards. Here we go now, the final par 5 of the day, Frank.
Yeah, decision on how much you bite off here. If you play the ball to the right, then it's going to play its full 600 yards. But if you can take it in a direct line at that green, you're going to chew off a little bit of yardage. But you have to be able to carry that bunker.
And through the years, a lot of excitement here at this par 5 16th. Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, so.
Pretty close. We'll be looking at about 15 feet for birdie. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. maybe lifted right there, just sort of peaked.
So a tester from 4 feet.
In for par. Well, Frank, the most famous island green obviously is TPC Sawgrass, Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. Pete Dye's creation. People forget this is also an island green here in the California desert.
And it's called Alcatraz, and I've never heard of anyone trying to break into Alcatraz.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left. And he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad. Rich, that was some shot out of the rough. I really didn't think he could even get that on the green.
Well, just to get it on the green, as you say, I think is a big win. Good stroke. Just came up empty. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards. But again, we've said it all day long. Water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's 3 groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
Had a birdie here yesterday in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, I thought he had that.
Well, just when you thought they might pick up one, now settle for a par.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Frank, it was a great setting with great crowds. We saw plenty of very good golf. Your thoughts?
I think the course really extracted some of the golf that we saw. It forced these players to play just some great golf. And it wasn't just like a pitch and a putt golf course. So I think seeing the guys tested, seeing the players tested at this level, it was a treat.
Done.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
Well, here we are at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the Sunshine State, Florida. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Frank, what stands out when you look at the wetlands?
The swampland, the gators, really it's a good driving golf course, Rich. Not a lot of fairway bunkers in play here at Wetlands, but if you drive the ball well here, you really can get a good score out here at Wetlands. They play the web.com here every now and again, so we've seen some good scores over the years, but always fun to be playing in Florida. Sun on your back, warm golf conditions. That's an absolute beauty.
Now his third, staring right at the green.
Booty try up next.
And getting ready for the putt. That is a painful bogey at the 7th hole. Just a couple of feet. So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. 8th hole here at the Wetlands, par 3, 203 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, actually, but you have to have a little look at your yardage book, because that front bunker will make this hole look a little shorter to the eye than actually what it plays. The green gets a little narrow as it gets deeper, but flat and, well, I wouldn't say easy. 3 here, not too bad.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Needs this for par.
Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game. I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that one.
Tough to watch.
Frank, looking at this par 5 9th hole, it's 621 yards. I need to make birdie here. What's the best way to go about it?
Well, if you're a long hitter, then there's a chance you can reach this par 5 and 2, Rich. But really the best way to make birdie here, good tee shot, and then contemplate the layup. In between the first 2 bunkers, there's a nice section of fairway, and that's not going to leave you much in for that 3rd shot to a green that's very receptive. So really, birdie can be made the hard way, wedge and a putt.
He's set up for his 3rd shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Getting set now over the putt. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. So here we go on the back nine at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. And Frank, I'm pumped up for this second nine.
Oh, this is a hard hole, Rich, and anything long or left and you're guaranteed to be wet. That's for sure. 3 bunkers short, and the fun zone, that's the green just beyond those.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Rolls in the par putt, stays at +2. Par 4 11th, Frank, we're looking at 443 yards.
Yeah, the Wetlands Golf Course is a really good driving course. This is another example here, Rich, where the fairway's just wide enough to reward a good tee shot, and then those 2 bunkers don't really come into play. But Wetlands becomes very difficult when you just start to stray a little bit off the fairway. And then you start to see why those bunkers are put there.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Now our featured golfer setting up for another approach. Really needs to get something going here, Frank.
And that green right now must look like the size of a thimble.
And he's made it onto the green now. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Boy, the train went off the tracks here on this hole. This is for double bogey. Ouch, that hurts. Double bogey. Stepping up to the tee at the first par 5 on this back nine. It's the 12th, and it is 576 yards.
Yeah, this hole bends to the right, opposite direction to what 11 does. A good tee shot, and you can actually think about reaching this par 5 and 2, but anything around the front or front left, still going to leave a relatively simple pitch shot. So when you stand on that tee, think of birdie at least here.
Second from an excellent lie. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Still not home yet, playing his 4th. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Oh my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh, yeah, that's the You'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day.
Well, that'll do it for today. Not a great performance, not on the first page of that leaderboard.
Yeah, the people on the top of this leaderboard are there for a reason. They hit more fairways, more greens. It sounds easy, and I know this is a difficult course, but that's the way it's going to have to be played.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the BioWare Classic.
Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Getting set to go at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the great state of Florida. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Setting up for an approach shot here. Pretty good shot right there.
It's at sneaky distance.
Just has the feel today. Good look now at the 5th hole here at the Wetlands, par 5, and it's a good one, 635 yards. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach giving him another good look. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Good stroke. Just came up empty. Has this one for par. That is a solid par putt. On to the par 4 6th here at the Wetlands. And Frank, how does that water factor into the way you play this hole?
It bisects this fairway beautifully, Rich. 233 yards to the run out on the first section of fairway. And that might be worth considering for the short hitters. To try and flash it across the narrowest part of those wetlands, 276 yards. And of course, the more horsepower you got, actually the easier this tee shot becomes.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. And it makes the green in regulation. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question.
Frank, now we get a crack at another par 5. The seventh is 592 yards.
And certainly reachable, especially with a tee shot that follows the shape of this fairway, which is slightly to the left. Good tee shot, you can get home. And those bunkers, if anything, are nicely placed on that left side of the green, actually to protect a shot that goes too far or too left.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. About 80 yards left, Frank. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks, move forward, better days ahead.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Set in the Sonoran Desert and surrounded by the majestic McDowell Mountains, we're at the stadium course at TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, set to bring you all the action for today's event. Frank, when you think about the TPC Scottsdale, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The golf course has been radically changed in 2014, but it still hasn't lost its luster. Really, it's just been updated like the game itself for these young, strong players of the modern era.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That was not a very good read right there. Getting set now over the putt. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Been some outstanding shot making to this point. Let's see what's happening now as we resume the action at the 7th. Nothing noteworthy here in the first round, Frank, but still plenty of golf to be played.
That's right, Reg. A little bit of a dry spell, but really not a lot of damage done.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. Frank, how about that?
Oh, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away instead. Straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Now here at the par 4 8, slight dogleg to the left, Frank.
And this dogleg's made more severe now by the addition of 2 bunkers. This was a bunkerless hole off the tee in years gone by, but those 2 bunkers certainly make this a sharper dogleg. And because it forces the player to go down the right side, adds length to the already long 475 yards.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Third shot, looking for a good one. He's hit the green, but his work is by no means finished. A difficult putt coming up from about 25 feet. And now a putt from 24 feet away. Do that. Here at the par 4 9th hole, Frank, what's the strategy off the tee?
Well, there's one bunker down the right side that you have to be very wary of. 325 yards to carry that, so it's very much in play, and just over 290 to reach it. Ideally, you have to go left about that down the left side. But really, this is a second shot hole because this green is not very deep.
I think you're going that way.
Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too
That's
bad.
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, in the changing weather conditions, players have so many different options, don't they? Some might like to play it high, others might want to play it a little lower along the ground.
Really got to be on your toes today because of that, Rich, and really that's what separates the men from the boys, so to speak. You know that any mistake you make can obviously be magnified by the wind conditions, but conversely, it's a real good chance for skill to shine.
Oh.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, hello there. Really nice putt. Well, Frank, this day had a little bit of everything. I mean, you always catch your breath after a round at TPC Scottsdale because it's generally just so exciting, and today was no exception.
Yeah, the atmosphere here is unlike any other TPC golf course. The fact that you know you're playing a golf course where the PGA Tour visits every year is one thing, but the condition of the golf course is just absolutely amazing. They're playing in thinner air. The golf course, even with its changes, is still such a great test. Fun place to play.
Well said, Frank. For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from TPC Scottsdale. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Welcome to the Stadium Course, TPC Scottsdale in Arizona. It's a masterful blend of challenge and playability designed by the team of Tom Weisskopf and Jay Morrish. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports.
The changes, Rich, they made in 2014 have just added a luster to this great venue that hosts the PGA Tour event each and every year. And it's a great test for any level of play.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Second shot, good look at the green. This is a good-looking shot. Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. So they get it to 2 under with that birdie. Par 4 second hole, a little bit longer than the first, this one at 442 yards.
Yeah, they've added a new tee, changed the bunkering down the right side. Still a semi-blind tee shot, a hole that bends softly to the left side. The bunkering around this green has changed. Still, it requires a very precise tee shot.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Down the hill from here, Frank probably going to go with one club less. So on the putting surface, and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's a solid par putt. Frank, what's the strategy here off the tee at the par 5 third?
For the long hitters, they still think that they can reach this par 5 and 2 comfortably with a good tee shot. For the shorter hitters, it really is a thought about where you lay up that second shot to try and leave a good third shot yardage in. Still a good tee shot, though. That hazard down the right side protects against someone who's a little too cavalier off the tee.
Has hit a good drive here at the third. Down there a good ways and in the fairway. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5. His second shot. Oh no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
This one measures out to 15 feet. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Good putt. Frank, what kind of shot is required here at the par 3 fourth?
A little drop shot par 3 down the hill in today's standards because it's under 200 yards. Series of 3 tee boxes, so plenty to choose from there. The entry into the green is well protected now by the 2 bunkers, one in the center and one on the right front of this green. Should be safely on deck.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So close. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And getting ready for the putt. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Well, Frank, now at the 5th hole, the par 4, the challenge stiffens just a bit.
Yeah, the longest par 4, obviously in the start of this golf course, around the 470-yard mark. 2 bunkers down the right have been changed to 1, but it's in the perfect position now. Of course, that new tee added to add a little bit of length to this hole. The green still remains relatively similar to what it used to be.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. The problem is turning one mistake into another.
Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one. And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just 5 feet left. He's made it. Ready to tee off now at the 6th. This is a dogleg left.
And another hole that's been stiffened by bunkers on both the left and the right side, really giving you the decision on what club to hit. Should you be bold or should you be smart?
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par.
Comfortably knocks it in.
So that is the end of the second round. I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow, Frank.
We got a great leaderboard right now, Rich. So many players in contention. Golf course, there's enough blend of good and hard holes. Really, it's up for grabs.
EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Simply put, there is nothing like it in the game of golf. It is by far the biggest spectator event in the sport We're at TPC Scottsdale in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. And Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
Well, everybody wants to know about 16, the famed par 3 here, surrounded by those skyboxes. Once again, that'll be a topic of the day. But really, this is a regular site for the PGA Tour. So those of you that were familiar with the golf course, it's now changed. 2014, the designers Morris and Weiskopf did a massive renovation.
Well over 100,000 fans every day, better than 500,000 for the week. It's a giant party mixed in with a heck of a tournament. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Just a couple of feet. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Frank, the par 4 8th. This is a good hole.
It is a dog leg to the left. Forces the player to go out the right, and this will play every inch of its yardage, which is over 470 yards. Green's still pretty much the same with that false front, unless there's a flag position in the front. You're really going to have to fly it at least 20 yards or so into that green. Otherwise, that ball is going to run towards the front.
He pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So he's hit it inside 30 feet, not his best, but still a chance.
Yeah, the odd 28-footer, and that's exactly what it is. I've seen a few of those go down.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
He has this attempt for par. Been a little too much of that, Frank, just sort of ho-hum pars. Finishing out the front side now at the 9th. And Frank, what do you think of this par 4?
Nice way to finish the front 9, Rich. Very thin green, protected by that little splash bunker in the front. Iron players get a real advantage here. One bunker down the right side to be aware of off the tee, though. I doubt anybody could carry that.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Frank, you know what gets me about this game? Here a person makes a legitimate effort, makes a good stroke, and that ball spins around and is just laughing at the player. And now what's left, you could breathe on that ball. It counts the same as a 300-yard drive. It's not right.
But it's the beauty of the game.
Did the job right there. Getting set now to start one of the most exciting back nines in all of golf on the PGA Tour here at TPC Scottsdale, beginning with the 10th.
If you stand on this green, Rich, and look backwards, you realize how severe this dogleg is. But from the tee side, it's a sharp dogleg to the right. It's actually a layup down the left side, and then a second shot around the 150, 160-yard mark in.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Anything you do differently with your setup?
Just dig my feet into the sand a little bit more, but make sure you focus on the exact spot on the ball you want to hit.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a two-putt, well done.
Good par. On to the par 4 11th hole. Frank, what's the best play here?
No bunkers really here to worry about, Rich, so you have to pick something in the distance as a good line. Something a little bit away from the water that protects the left side of this fairway. And it's adjacent to the 15th hole, the other par 5 coming home. So a good drive, perhaps with a little bit of cut off the tee. And that should shape up nicely for this long par 4.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Early part of this second nine, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh, my goodness, Frank, that is painful.
Oh, yeah, that's the... You'd rather miss the hole at times, wouldn't you?
Good putt. Twelfth hole now, looking at 192 yards, par 3.
Won't quite play that distance because that tee shot is considerably downhill. But you really have to be cognizant of the wind if it's coming off the left, because it easily brings that water into play down the right should that tee shot just start moving with the wind.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
And he's made the green. He'll take par and move on. Frank, this is what you get when you come to TPC Scottsdale. Little bit of everything. The huge crowds. We saw an ace today. Birdies, eagles. What a round.
The changes at TPC Scottsdale have certainly stood up well. And this golf course, as we usher it into another decade, will certainly test the best and every other player that plays this game.
New look golf course here at TPC Scottsdale, but same raucous crowds. For my partner Frank Novelo and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from the TPC Scottsdale.